Here are the top stories for today, April 22, 2020. President Rodrigo Duterte was tasked to extend the implementation of enhanced community quarantine in select areas in Luzon after April 30. Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano vowed to fast-track the approval of a stimulus that will mitigate the impact of COVID-19 in the country. Medical and hospital associations nationwide expressed their support for Health Secretary Francisco Duque amid calls for his resignation. And a young athlete member of the Philippine Muay Thai team has donated her one-month allowance for the purchase of relief goods. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. President Rodrigo Duterte was asked to extend the implementation of enhanced community quarantine in select areas in Luzon after April 30. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said the recommendation pitched to Duterte was either to maintain, relax, or lift the ECQ in areas in Luzon with high cases of COVID-19. The imposition of ECQ in Luzon was supposed to end on April 12 but was extended until April 30 in a bid to curb the spread of COVID-19 infections in the country. Roque said it was proposed to continue the implementation of ECQ in Metro Manila, CALABARZON, and parts of Bulacan, considering that there are high COVID-19 cases in these areas. Roque said Duterte still has to carefully study the proposals and would make sure that his decision conforms with WHO's advice. Meanwhile, the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases has yet to come up with a recommendation regarding the possible extension or lifting of the ECQ. DILG Secretary Eduardo Año said health experts praised the enhanced community quarantine as it gained a lot of good success. Año believes that the quarantine should not be lifted unless the country will be able to increase its testing capacity and appropriate measures will be implemented. He said local government units could impose total lockdown depending on the situation and reminded the public to stop being hard-headed, stay in their homes, or face arrest if they commit ECQ violations. The Philippine National Police intensified its enforcement operations amid the coronavirus disease 2019 pandemic. PNP Chief General Archie Gamboa said there will be no more warning for ECQ violators as they will be automatically arrested and inquest procedures will be applied to cases of violations of Republic Act 11469. Gamboa said the police would implement a strict ECQ in Metro Manila, Central Luzon, and CALABARZON areas. Based on PNP data in Metro Manila, the largest number of violators is in the Southern Police District with 15,475 cases, followed by Northern Police District with 7,407 cases. Meanwhile, the Eastern Police District and Quezon City Police District both have over 2,000 cases, and Manila Police District has over 1,000 cases. He said the National Capital Region Police Office is on top of the situation and all additional troops would be under them. The PNP has earlier ordered the deployment of Special Action Force commandos to assist the local police units. The government aims to have 5 million Filipinos enrolled into the Philippine Identification System this year and possibly complete the registration of the entire population by 2022. Newly appointed Acting Socio-Economic Planning Secretary Carl Kendrick Chua on Tuesday said he and PSA Undersecretary Dennis Mapa have agreed to use the next 2 months to finish the remaining procurement and preparations for the PhilSys ID to be able to begin the registration of the households by June or July. Chua said the registrations will be front-loaded this year as much as possible. Apart from the national ID system, Chua said he will also prioritize the crafting of the National Recovery Plan as well as supporting the country's Build, Build, Build program through NEDA's work in the Investment Coordination Committee. He said we will probably be entering a new normal and determine which of the Build, Build, Build projects have the maximum impact to generate more jobs and be part of the economic recovery. The Department of Social Welfare and Development reminds beneficiaries to use their financial aid properly. And the Justice Department is eyeing mass testing for inmates in Mandaluyong Women's Jail. More on these from Teresa Montemayor.
The Department of Social Welfare and Development is urging beneficiaries of the Social Amelioration Program to use the financial assistance given to them to buy basic needs. This as some beneficiaries were caught using the aid in gambling and illegal drugs. On April 14, police arrested 5 men in Bacoor, Cavite after allegedly using the government's financial aid in cockfighting and shabu. According to reports, 2 of them are qualified to receive the assistance but were immediately disqualified. Meanwhile, the Department of Transportation provides quarantine ships for OFWs who were not provided separate accommodation by their manning agencies. A passenger ship terminal is also converted into a treatment facility for persons infected with COVID-19. The facility is located at the Eva Macapagal Super Terminal in Pier 15. It underwent non-stop construction works since Monday last week and was finished ahead of time by 2 days. The treatment facility has a total of 211 cubicles distributed in different zones to accommodate patients with mild, advanced, and severe COVID-19 infections. The facility will be manned by personnel from the Department of Health, Philippine Coast Guard, and the Philippine Ports Authority. In other news, the Department of Justice is working with various groups on the possible mass testing of persons deprived of liberty at the Correctional Institute for Women in Mandaluyong City, following reports of COVID-19 infections in the facility. Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara said they are now talking to certain parties, including the Red Cross, for the conduct of mass testing. The International Committee of the Red Cross, or ICRC, last week announced efforts to assist the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, or BJMP, in the establishment of the 48-bed tent COVID-19 isolation facility for detainees at the new Quezon City Jail in Payatas. The ICRC is also supporting the BJMP to expand the capacity of this facility to 150 beds to respond to future needs. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Teresa Montemayor.
Still to come, Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano vowed to fast-track the approval of a stimulus bill that will mitigate the impact of COVID-19 in the country. And President Duterte orders the arrest of people who are using and selling fake IDs to pass through checkpoints. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Kakagaling ko lang ng grocery. Siyempre, hindi ko hahayaan na pumasok ang COVID-19 sa bahay at mapahamak ang pamilya ko. Kaya iiwan ko ang sapatos ko sa labas. At ngayon, maghuhugas ako ng kamay ng 20 seconds. O ayan, wala na ang virus. Tandaan, buhay ng pamilya natin na nakasalalay. Let's heal as one.
Alam niyo ba na pumapasok ang COVID-19 sa ating katawan sa pamamagitan ng mata, ilong at bibig? Kaya lagi kaming conscious dito sa bahay kapag umuubo kami. Lagi kami naghuhugas ng kamay in 20 seconds. Pag lumalabas kami, lagi namin suot ang mask. Lagi lang natin tatandaan mga mamshi. Buhay ng pamilya natin ang nakasalalay dito. Let's heal as one.
Alamin ang tamang paraan ng pag-ubo upang mapigilan ang paglaganap ng Coronavirus Disease 2019. Ugaliing magdala ng panyo o tissue. Kung uubo o babahing, takpan ang buong ilong at bibig gamit ang panyo o tissue. Kung walang dalang panyo o tissue, maaaring gamitin ang braso na pantakip. Kung nakararamdam na kailangan umubo o bumahing, agad na dumistansya sa mga tao sa paligid. Huwag dumura kung saan-saan, gumamit ng tissue at itapon sa basurahan. Ugaliin ang paghuhugas ng kamay at paggamit ng alcohol o hand sanitizer upang mamatay ang mikrobyo. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano on Tuesday vowed to fast-track the approval of a stimulus bill which seeks to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 pandemic in the country. Cayetano said during the virtual meeting of the House Defeat COVID-19 Committee said that while they are waiting for the administration's version of the stimulus package, they are already hearing through this draft bill and will fast-track all of this. The draft consolidated bill called Philippine Economic Recovery Act proposes a total allocation of 613 billion pesos to fund the economic interventions. The bill is a consolidation of the economy moving forward as one bill by Marikina City Representative Stella Kimbo and the Philippine National Stimulus Strategy by Albay Representative Joey Salceda. The merged measure provides transitional interventions which refer to economic relief that shall be implemented immediately after the enhanced community quarantine is lifted. Some of the measures include DTI's grants for the education training and advising of MSMEs on how to cope with the new norms amid the COVID-19 pandemic. An immediate adoption of zero tariff rates on essential imported raw materials, zero negative loans or a 300 billion peso loan package, and the establishment of a national emergency investment corporation that will bail out firms going bankrupt. The bill also proposes enhancements to the government's Build infrastructure program, particularly in universal health care, education, and food security. President Duterte has ordered the authorities to go after those who are selling fake identification cards that will purportedly serve as quarantine passes amid the Luzon-wide enhanced community quarantine. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said President Duterte is directing the Philippine National Police and the National Bureau of Investigation to ensure the immediate arrest of those behind the sale of fake IDs bearing the president's signature. Roque's statement came following reports that people are enticed to buy fake IDs with Duterte's signature and Malacanang's logo for them to pass through quarantine checkpoints. The fake IDs were purportedly being sold at between 1,000 and 3,000 pesos. On April 18, Presidential Anti-Corruption Commissioner Greco Belhica warned the public against those people who are taking advantage of the situation amid the ECQ in Luzon. Belhica issued the stern warning after the PACC had received complaints that a person pretending to be a member of the Presidential Task Force on Moral Recovery is selling fake IDs that can be used as COVID-19 quarantine passes or working permits. The suspect was identified as Marvin Una, a resident of Binyan, Laguna. Another motorist was also apprehended on Monday on EDSA northbound lane near Camp Aguinaldo for using a falsified document purportedly issued by the DILG. Under Republic Act 11469 or the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act, quarantine violators will face 1 year imprisonment or a fine ranging from 10,000 pesos to 1 million pesos or both. Several members of the New People's Army in Agusan del Norte have surrendered to government troops after choosing to steal or demand food from villagers affected by COVID-19. More on this and other news from the provinces from Chris Mundo.
A communist New People's Army fighter surrendered earlier this month to the Army's 23rd Infantry Battalion on Monday. Alias Jack said hunger pushed him and 6 other members of the NPA's Guerrilla Front 4A operating in Agusan del Norte to return to the fold of the law. Rather than join his comrades to force hinterland communities who are affected by COVID-19 to give them food, Jack said he decided to surrender instead. The Army said it will not tire to encourage the remaining NPA rebels to return to the government and their families. Also in Agusan del Norte, a communist NPA fighter was killed and a minor was rescued after a clash with government forces in the town of Kicharao on Monday. Army personnel encountered about 20 NPA combatants in Barangay Bangayan, while 2 more skirmishes broke out on the same day in the area involving a different NPA unit. The Army said the clashes were the result of the NPA's extortion activities on villagers as they could no longer buy food due to the enhanced community quarantine. In Iloilo, the Army captured 5 child warriors of the CPP-NPA in an encounter. The Army's 61st Infantry Battalion said government troops responded to reports of locals that the CPP-NPA is conducting training of minor recruits at Sitio Anoy, Cabalaunan Village, Miagao. The troops captured 11 rebels while one was killed in the 35-minute gun battle. Charges will be filed against those of legal age while the minors will be turned over to the Department of Social Welfare and Development Field Office 6. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Chris Crismundo.
Residents in Dumaguete City and neighboring towns in Negros Oriental availed of fresh produce from local farmers following the launching of the Kadiwa on Wheels mobile market. The provincial government, in cooperation with the Department of Agriculture, rolled out the Kadiwa on Wheels mobile market on Tuesday. Governor Roel Degamo led the launching in the morning at the Capitol grounds. The Kadiwa on Wheels mobile market is a project to allow people to access food while under the enhanced community quarantine. Local producers brought their farm produce such as fruits, vegetables, fish, poultry, eggs, and meat, which were sold at a retailer's price. Non-Dumaguete residents also availed of the farm products. The Kadiwa on Wheels was scheduled to go around different barangays in the city and will proceed to Gilhungan City in the north on Wednesday. In our business news, Social Enterprise Accessi Wheels is looking for more volunteer drivers to provide free rides to more patients and healthcare workers during the duration of the Luzon-wide enhanced community quarantine. Accessi Wheels Chief Operating Officer Eva Pareño said they have been volunteering to ferry patients and healthcare workers since March 20. A person may avail of the free ride even if he or she is alone. If two people need a ride at the same hospital at the same time, they are accommodated in one ride provided that social distancing is observed. Accessi Wheels is hoping there will be more volunteer drivers who are genuinely interested to help out, who are committed, and who are willing to do it for free. From March 20 to April 12, Accessi Wheels had 12 volunteer drivers servicing Quezon City, Caloocan, Makati, Marikina, Manila, Las Piñas, Mandaluyong, Pasay, Bacoor, Batangas, and Laguna. Those who would like to avail of the service may reach out to Accessi Wheels via its Facebook page or Viber number. Up next, medical and hospital associations nationwide expressed their support for Health Secretary Francisco Duque amid calls for his resignation. And a young athlete member of the Philippine Muay Thai team has donated her one-month allowance for the purchase of relief goods. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Mga mommies, pagdating sa COVID-19, dapat hindi tayo kampante. Bagamat hindi nakikita ang sakit na ito ay nakamamatay. At hanggang ngayon wala pa rin lunas. Kaya protektahan natin ang ating pamilya. Laging maghugas ng kamay, huwag hahawakan ng mukha, at manatili sa bahay para makaiwas sa sakit na ito. Tandaan, buhay ng pamilya natin ang nakasalalay dito. Let's hear this one.
Hi Caps! Kamusta?
Well, ito dahil sa COVID-19, medyo stress.
Okay lang yan, Caps. Napagdaanan ko din yan.
Ano kaya pwede natin gawin, no?
Kung nararamdaman mo na gulong-gulo ka na sa mga naririnig mo, sa mga nababasa mo, mag-pause ka muna, saka ka huminga ng malalim.
Buti na lang tumawag ka. Iba talaga pag may nangangamusta.
A strong body starts with a strong mind.
Tama. Let's heal us one.
Tandaan ang tamang paraan ng paghuhugas at paglilinis ng kamay upang makaiwas sa iba't ibang karamdaman. Basain ng tubig ang mga kamay at sabunin. Unang sabunin ang mga palad at ang likod ng mga kamay. Kuskusin na maigi ang pagitan ng mga daliri at maging ang mga kuko. Isunod ang pagitan ng mga hinlalaki at kuskusin ng paikot ang mga dulo ng mga daliri sa magkabilang palad. Banlawang mabuti ang mga kamay sa malinis na tubig at patuyuin ang mga kamay gamit ang single-use towel o air dryer. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
Medical and hospital associations nationwide expressed on Tuesday their support for Health Secretary Francisco Duque III. In a solidarity statement, the Philippine Medical Association, Philippine Hospital Association, Private Hospital Association of the Philippines, and the Philippine College of Hospital Administrators lauded how Duque leads the Department of Health in dealing with the pandemic. The associations issued the statement after several senators filed a resolution calling for his immediate resignation due to criticisms in handling the response to COVID-19. The statement said, Duque's decision is the sum of all the efforts of the private and government experts as they monitor the COVID-19 situation daily and constantly communicating strategies to end the battle against the disease. It is said that defeating the disease and management of the cases, deaths, and pandemic it has caused would not be easy as COVID-19 is caused by a novel virus. The groups are meanwhile hopeful that COVID-19 will be stopped when the vaccine will become available in a year at least. An official of the World Health Organization in the Western Pacific on Tuesday said the battle against COVID-19 would be a long one. WHO Regional Director Dr. Takeshi Kasai said individuals will make precautions against transmitting COVID-19 a part of their normal daily lives unless a vaccine is found. The private sector will have to think about ways to operate in minimizing risks, while the government must think to bring back other important regular services. Once stay-at-home orders are relaxed, Kasai said, society has to be ready for a new way of living that balances measures to check the virus and enables vital parts of the economy and society to function once more. The Philippines is at the home stretch of the enhanced community quarantine set to end on April 30th. The head of the World Health Organization warned Monday that the worst is yet ahead from the COVID-19 outbreak. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said in a video conference that the world must act together on a national and global scale to overcome the pandemic. He reiterated his calls for global solidarity and national unity and warned that if this does not happen, more people will die. Ghebreyesus reiterated that the virus has new types of contagion habits and a serious killer like SARS and MERS. He also denied U.S. claims that the WHO hid information from member countries. After originating in Wuhan, China last December, COVID-19, the disease caused by the novel coronavirus, has spread to at least 185 countries and regions worldwide, with Europe and the U.S. as the worst-hit regions. A few cases of Filipinos infected with COVID-19 have been reported in the Netherlands. Philippine Ambassador Jaime Victor Leda on Tuesday, however, did not say the number of Filipinos infected with the disease. At present, there are over 8,000 Filipinos in the Netherlands and about 5,000 in the Dutch Caribbean island Aruba. Leda said most of the Filipinos in Aruba are affected by the drastic halt on global tourism due to the pandemic, as majority of them are working in the travel and hotel industry. The embassy is coordinating with the Dutch government and the Filipino community to provide them necessary assistance, including the Filipino seafarers currently in the country. The embassy is also working with the Philippine Overseas Labor Office in Berlin for the release of the one-time cash assistance to affected OFWs. More people are helping out in efforts to provide for indigent families amid the enhanced community quarantine. The latest of this is Islay Erica Bumogao, who donated her one-month allowance to buy relief goods. Bumogao, a member of the Philippine Mai Tai team, gave 50 relief packs to single parents at Barangay Dontogan, Baguio City. The 18-year-old silver medalist during the 33rd Southeast Asian Games said that she gave her stipend to help in the relief efforts of her counselor dad, Benny Bomogao, who also donated his pay for a month. She said she will also give her stipend this coming month for the relief efforts. The young Bomogao, who currently enrolled at the University of Baguio for a degree in teaching, said it was her father who inspired her. She hopes her acts will also inspire other athletes to be kind and help. Let's take another look at today's biggest stories. President Rodrigo Duterte was tasked to extend the implementation of enhanced community quarantine in select areas in Luzon after April 30. Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano vowed to fast-track the approval of a stimulus that will mitigate the impact of COVID-19 in the country. Medical and hospital associations nationwide expressed their support for Health Secretary Francisco Duque amid calls for his resignation. And a young athlete member of the Philippine Muay Thai team has donated her 1-month allowance for the purchase of relief goods. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check out more news content, check our webpage or head onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also, watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC13. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day and stay at home.